focus now turns to the semi-finals of the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel, and it's the first leg semis which will take place today at the Mecca of Jamaica's cricket at Sabina Park, and five-time champions Harbour will do battle with the two-time winners Cavalier. There was some threat of rain earlier today. It is 30 degrees Celsius and it is partly cloudy, humidity at 79%. And there is a strong wind at the moment going at 19 kilometers per hour. Of course, Cavalier would have shot straight through to the semi-finals, would have avoided going through the playoffs. Harbour, of course, would have had to get by Humber Line to reach this place, while Anigans, who of course topped the regular season standings, they'll be facing Mount Pleasant, who had to deny Dunbeholden on aggregate to go through. Let's now hear from both camps, Harbour and Cavalier, starting with the Harbour coach, Ludley Bernard.
Ludley here again, lots of matches within a short period. How does that impact the team coming into this important encounter?
Very significantly, you know. It's really a get and spell now as to the after effect of, you know, these grueling days. But I'm confident that the physical conditioning, you know, exerted on them over time, you know, I think they will stand up to it.
This has also been a tough matchup for Harbour, a ding-dong battle between yourselves and Cavalier over a period of time.
Yes.
What causes that? What makes this such a difficult battle for you? Is it a coach versus coach scenario, or is it just the complement of the team and how deep the squads are?
I think it has to do mainly with it's a tight race. The Cavalier team has been very good over the last couple of years, you know, and very difficult to beat. So clearly we would have to improve our squad content to be very, very competitive with them. Additional to that is both coaches, you know, really are students of the game and look forward to going to battle against each other.
And you did get the better of them earlier this season as well. In the last game you spoke about rotation of squad, looking to see certain players. We look at the squad now, more or less familiar faces. Demar Rose comes back in. Is that to add more creativity to the middle of the park, which is somewhere where at times Harbour have struggled?
Yeah, well, Demar has been a very good player for us. We just hope that to some extent his inconsistency appears on the consistent side today. You know, he adds a lot of quality and he really helps to stabilize our team in midfield.
And Garth Stewart is our player to watch. Of course, he had scored in the semi-final against Portmore United in the link-up it was, and that was his first ever goal for Harbour at the senior level. And he'll be looking to come into some fine form against Cavalier. Let's see if that trend will continue upwards, as that's why he's there for. Yeah, it is a makeshift role for him, usually in the middle of the park, Garth Stewart, but coming up in a time of need for the Stars of the East as they seek to go deeper and deeper into the playoffs. It's now time to hear from the Cavalier camp, and in particular their technical director, Rudolph Speed.
Rudolph, first of all, very sorry to hear about the incident which should have taken place on Monday, the belongings of Cavalier being stolen and the unfortunate situation. But how does that impact the mentality of the players coming into this encounter just 3 days later?
I'm not sure, but we did try our best to get them in the right frame of mind. Today could be just a damage control day and give them some more time to recover. It's a good thing it's over 2 legs. So we're going to be giving a good account of ourselves though, but I'm not sure to the extent. We would have repaired some, but I'm not sure if we did the full job.
Speaking to you a few weeks ago, obviously 2 of your key members, Dwayne Atkinson and Richard King, going on to overseas contracts. And you spoke about the fact that you are very confident in the depth of your squad. How satisfied are you with how the squad is playing since those players have moved on?
That was the first game we lost since they left. But I have two injuries now. Cadet and Elshot, they are out probably for the rest of the season. Young Brown, AJ and Chuppy is touch and go. So
Adrian Reid, you mean?
Adrian Reid. So yeah. I'm a little bit worried now. Before I wasn't, but I'm a little bit worried now.
And the keys to victory today, because you haven't got the better of Harbour View this season. It's been a struggle for Cavalier. But what do you think, coming into this two-legged encounter, are the keys to victory and getting results on a surface which you have done well on in the past here at Sabina Park?
No, well, the truth is we haven't, but they were close games, extremely close games. One drawn and one was a 2-1 victory. So I wouldn't say they are out of our leagues. I would say they are pretty close. And I was observing you asking a question why they haven't beaten us more in the past. When we were growing up, we always wanted to be like Harbour View.
Interesting answers there from Rudolph Speed. Ronaldo Webster is the player to watch. Of course, he's going to be playing behind the strikers today, and he has 5 goals to his name so far. A really versatile player, usually plays his trade along the wing, but in recent times he's been asked to play in an attacking midfield role behind the strikers. Let's see if he'll be able to excel in that role as Cavalier they seek to get the better of Harbour View. We're going to take a quick break here from Sabina Park, and when we return we'll take a look at the starting lineups of both Cavalier and Harbour View, and of course the teams will walk out and we'll have kick-off. Stay with us. It's time for the first leg semi-finals in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. So the best 4 teams in the country will be in action. And first up on the agenda will be 5-time champions Harbour View against the 2-time winners Cavalier, right here at Sabina Park. And of course we are live on the home of champions. Wherever you're watching all over the world, thank you so so much for joining us. My name is Donald Oliver. I'm with Christopher Taylor, and it's a matchup that we are eagerly anticipating. Cavalier, they don't have the best record against this Harbourview team. In fact, they've played some 26 matches. They've lost on 11 occasions. Well, Harbourview have won on obviously 11 occasions with 6 draws as well. But as you see, as far as the head-to-head is concerned, for the last 5 matches, it has been on and off Harbourview Cavalier, and there have been a couple of drawn results in that as well. But yeah, we are looking forward to this matchup because it's always a close contest between these two teams. Chris Taylor, talk to me. You have some keys to the game here as far as this first leg semi-final is concerned. What are they?
Well, from a Harbourview perspective, as we see Colorado Murray looking on, he's one of the key factors as well. Been out with injury, Colorado Murray, the front man, Golden Boot winner, we remember back in 2017, 2018 when he was at Tivoli Gardens, and his recovery from injury, a big deal for Harbourview in terms of leading the line, especially with Nicholas Hamilton being out, as well as Trayvon Reed. Creativity in the middle. Timar Lewis, who played in the Link Cup the other day, one of the players they'll be looking at there, number 11, and Christa J. Daly, who, you know, come in, versatile player, can play in that number 10 role there, number 10, and play out wide as well as he will be doing today. The creativity in the middle for Harbourview. When they come alive is when their middle is very potent in terms of stringing the passes throughout the middle. And then the wing play. O'Shane Staple, arguably the best overlapping right back in the league. They love to go forward himself and Harding, but that is the key. How well will they recover? Because they can leave themselves exposed to the pace and trickery of Cavalier if they don't get back. So it's a Jekyll and Hyde situation for Harbourview. Cavalier, on the other hand, they have that man, the leading goal scorer in the land, Colin Anderson. Can they thread the passes to really make his game come alive? Can they play that ball over the top into the spaces to allow him to run on, use his speed, a 10-point odd man in track and field? And what can he do along with this man, Shaniel Thomas, who will be a great addition as well? Counter-attack, the use of flanks as well for Cavalier. Certainly you have Webster on one side and Ainsworth on the other. And the centre-back chemistry. There is young Adrian Reid, who played in that centre-back role, and he's a question mark for today. But yeah, the likes of Ling and Ming in the back line, but with Richard King going on to Iceland, who will that player and how well will he play?
Well, that's the thing, right? The stars have to come to the fore. And for Harbourview in particular, they're looking to defend a title. And what can we say? It's in their name, the Stars of the East. But Cavalier, they have won a second stripe. Let's see what they can do against Harbourview. They have been one of the more consistent teams in the land, having finished second during the regular season, Cavalier. But Harbourview, they have been consistently there in the playoffs, and they are used. They're very much used to the pressure situations. And of course, they are the more experienced team. Cavalier, every season we say that. They probably have the youngest squad in the league, the youngest starting 11 on most days. And we don't see that against them at all. Well, more often than not, we don't see that against them, their lack of experience, because they are an intelligent group, a bright bunch, street smart as how to play the football as well. And we see that in so many scenarios. Let's see what happens again here at Sabina Park. The captains are out there, Ryan Wellington on the left and Kyle Ming on the right. Both centre-backs. Nerissa Golson is the lady in charge. She'll be assisted by Ricardo McKenzie and Keone Denton. Okita Nicholson is the fourth official.
Black, white.
Or Christopher Mason, in fact, is the fourth official. Just a correction there.
Yeah, late change in terms of the fourth official, with Christopher Mason coming in, experienced official as well. I'm sure at some point we'll probably see Okita Nicholson in the second game, which will be a blockbuster as well.
Well,
so is this lineup.
Yeah, they took the words right out of the mouth. Mario Palmer is actually back between the sticks for Harbourview. In front of him, a back four of Harding, Wellington, Talbot and Staple in the middle of the park. The strong duo of Shamari Dyer and Jashawn Anglin giving Demar Rose, the experienced Demar Rose, the roaming role. Timar Lewis on the left, Krista J. Daly, the ever dangerous number 10 on the right hand side, while Garth Stewart goes down the middle.
Yeah, interesting. They've opted for Garth Stewart and not Colorado Murray up front on the bench. But yeah, Demar Rose comes in, that player who can play that creative role. 4-3-3 is what they'll play, Harbourview. Very surprised that they've gone for Stewart over Murray, and that talks about maybe Murray's recovery.
Vina Bartlett is back between the sticks for Cavalier. They have a back three of Giovanni Leng, Kyle Ming, and we assume it's going to be Adrian Reed in the back. If not, he'll be playing in the middle of the park. Gadale Irving might be playing as part of the back three. In the middle of the park, Christopher Ainsworth on the left, Jerome McCleary on the right, and Nickashay Murray in the middle. Up top, Ronaldo Webster, Colin Anderson and Orlando Russell, the strike pair, Russell and Anderson in Cavalier starting lineup this afternoon.
Yeah, they're back to their regular 3-5-2 Cavalier. I think Adrian Reed will probably play more in the midfield role, and at the back will be Gadale Irving. A little bit more solid as a defender, Gadale Irving, and probably that's why he's been asked to play that role. It was a difficult proposition for Adrian Reed against the likes of the Portmore attack last time out.
And we're on the way here at Sabina Park. Cavalier in majority white and black stripes, immediately going long. They'll be kicking towards the New Kingston area. Harbourview will be aiming towards the Caribbean Sea at the moment, and right now the Stars of the East have to do some early defending, and they seek to make a transition now through Lewis. Lewis was thinking of possibly switching the play to Krista J. Daly, decided against it. It's a brisk start so far, thinking of a shot, and it's well over the top. Shamari Dyer there just getting rid of the rust.
By no means the right decision. Never seen Dyer score from that kind of range. Defensive midfielder. And I thought he would have probably brought Dale into the play. So Dale this time asked to play in the wide area instead of in that number 10 role, just to give the width, because they have reverted to that 4-3-3 formation. So himself and Lewis will add some width. But dangerous players in the flank areas. Part of the key for Harbourview. I like the move to bring Demar Rose in, because you know that he has the ability to see a pass and pick it as well.
Indeed.
As to his match fitness,
here is Daly.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Let's see what he does. And it's now over to Richard Staple. Did speak about the wing play in our pre-game, how instrumental he and Harding has been in superb form in recent weeks, the former captain. This is Staple now on the other side. Staple goes long looking for Stewart, and Vina Bartlett comfortably out. Not surprised that he's back between the sticks, Vina Bartlett, although I'm going to say that he's a regular number one as far as the Premier League competition is concerned, but Jaden White did make a mistake in the link-up final. It was as Cavalier, they have the throw over the far side. Irving opting long, too long, and no problems for Palmer. Anderson, Rob Staple, couldn't supply the pass. Oh, but they've given it up. It's Webster. Webster going further wide, swinging that one inside, but a teammate wasn't anywhere close to it, and Lewis collects. And Dyer. Oh, Lewis gets out of trouble there. Dyer looking across and he finds Harding. Harding looking for options himself. And now Lewis manages to get across inside, and Got Stewart trying to be a nuisance to Ming. Harding again. Oh, that was a late stomp on the left back. Free kick to Harbour View. Well, wasn't altogether serious. Couldn't tell by the cry though.
Double touch coming in.
Stewart trying to get a foot in there and couldn't. It's going to be a difficult proposition for him. Today, maybe. Rose. Daly.
Yeah, I think Daly coming inside, wanting to get involved in the play more. I think that's critical from a Harbour View perspective as well. Getting Daly involved. His ball handling skills. One of the best in the league.
It's gone out to Colin Anderson. Anderson was thinking of a shot. Tries to get more space. Sends it out wide. Trying to get the cross inside the area. There's a deflection and it goes behind for a corner kick. But interesting times here as Dudley Bernard looks on, the man in charge at Harbour View. I found that both these coaches were a little bit pessimistic in the interviews earlier. Both have been involved in the link-up, of course. Harbour View didn't play in the third place playoff, while Cavalier did play in the final on Friday. Cavalier with your first corner kick of the afternoon. Well, there's a conversation that's being had at the near post with Harding and Anderson involved. 5 players inside the box for Cavalier. Here it comes. It's a good one. And Palmer colliding there with Webster. Both had eyes for the ball. And I think both of them should be all right. But it was a dangerous looking ball inside
nice
the area.
Delivery inside. And Palmer, who had an impressive game in the Link Cup, even though he ended up on the losing end of things. And maybe that's why there was a bit of pessimism. Both coaches losing. This ground as well. Cavalier going down to Portmore in the final, and Harbour View losing to Dumble Holding.
Yeah, that may be a part of it. Although Cavalier lost more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Here's Stewart. Stewart from distance. Well, he should be a little bit more confident with the fact that he has now scored his first goal for Harbour View at the senior level. Congrats to it. And it was a very good header it was in the Link Cup.
Still yet to get off the mark in the league though.
Oh yeah. Maybe that will come. He'd like to think he has 3 matches to do with it. There's with all speed. I think he has somewhere to go.
Not leaving his backpack behind.
Well, I now fully understand. Trying to win that header and managed to do so on Anderson. Well, he really came in like a blur, didn't he? Managed to make contact on it, and it did hit the woodwork, and it went behind for a goal kick, but that was close.
Good determination here by Anderson, keeping his eye on it right through. Ainsworth getting high, and it looked like it hit off the back part of the post in the end. Back triangle. Now the outside of it at least. Can't give that man any chances. 17 goals on the season for Colin Anderson, the leading scorer in the Premier League. 5 assists to go with that as well. And what an improved man he has been year by year.
Has slowed down in the latter stages of the competition, to be fair. Maybe it's because of a little bit of tiredness.
7 goals last season, but do remember that his strike partner in Dwayne Atkinson is moved on to Iceland on contract. with Richard King as well. And himself and Atkinson really had a partnership up there. Atkinson with 9 goals, 10 assists. And
pity as well that Shanil Thomas isn't fully fit, because that's a combination that we would have liked to see.
And he did find back some goal scoring form, albeit in the link-up with his brace.
Yeah.
In the semi-final, was it?
Yeah, at the Stadium East Field.
Yeah. There was a period where Russell had really started to light things up, and Rudolph Speed spoke about his energy, Orlando Russell, the number 16. 2 goals in quick succession, but then after that got a bit of a niggle and had to revert to the bench and hasn't been able to get back a start in place.
And one of those goals is against Harbour View.
Yeah.
So he appreciates the opposition.
Yeah. And I think Rudolph Speed's memory, which is somewhat like an elephant, has picked up that as well, which is probably why he's got the starting position. Russell. Usually very good energy about him. What about this man Palmer? Made very good decisions in the link-up final. Hasn't had much time at all. 25 years of age now, Palmer.
Staple, he has lost the ball again. Has to be much sharper than he has been so far in this game. This is Ainsworth trying to get the ball inside the area, and another corner kick to Cavalier.
And that's what the 3rd time Staple has given it up in a critical situation.
Corner kick coming in. Ainsworth delivering at the near post, easily handled there by Harding. And there was a push that was illegal on Shamari Dyer. Webster, no, that's Ming actually. Down again. Maybe a knock to the face. And he now requires a little assistance. He looks a little frustrated. Rudolph Speed.
Welcome to the sponsors, the presenting sponsors of the league, along with sportsmen or broadcast partners, proven just like Mount Pleasant Academy.
And Palmer is down again for Harbour View. He appears to have some issue still, the custodian.
Imagine after making his way into the starting lineup, has been able to keep out Anthony Pennant based on the link-up performance. And if you remember at the end of the link-up, there was an interesting question posed to Lolo Bernard. He had a wry smile saying, you know, he really wasn't sure. We'll see how training goes, but obviously it went well for Palmer. And Bennett, who's been erratic at times. That's the best way to put it. Even though he had a good portion of the season last year. And Palmer only been called on a couple times this season, but he's done well every time he's been called on.
Yep. The other 2 semi-finalists are here as well. And Mount Pleasant, I suppose you can say that they are also providing security in the dressing room. It's good to have bodies up there. That's a point I'm making. The security was pretty much absent last time around. Arnett Gardens, of course, securing their room. Of course, both these teams will make a mark in the 2nd semi-final a little bit later on the lights here at Sabina Park. Dressing room, of course, utilized for cricketers in various forms of the sport. That was a strong challenge coming in. Shook up Irving. Of course, that dressing room is new by certain standards. Of course, that entire part.
16 years new.
Yeah, relatively new. Time does fly.
Okay.
It was constructed for the 2007 World Cup.
Yeah, that's when it was actually done over. Well, it's two nice dressing rooms, but as we said, the facilities, the management need to get the security in order. That is just something that cannot happen.
And it has happened
especially at the highest level of football in the
twice.
country. Yeah. 3 times now, in fact. Double holding, St. George's, both.
Christopher J. Daly trying to go through. Was he tripped? Referee Goldson says play on, and Ming does that, and he goes long. And that's wonderfully done.
That's a penalty, is it?
I think it's outside the area.
That's a poor challenge on Russell. Wellington picks up the yellow. I think Colin Anderson is saying to the assistant that looked like it was inside the box.
What's on the line?
And that's inside the box.
This is a better angle.
Yeah, look at this.
I think it was outside.
He's inside. He is inside. The left leg is inside the box. Yeah, I think that's a penalty. Yeah, that's a penalty.
Well, that will remain a secret because there is no VAR in Jamaica. So
you look at that angle. That was the best angle, by the way. Great work, camera-wise. But if you look at when the left leg comes in, the head obviously has to follow, which is where Wellington's arm was making contact. And lucky to get away with that one, Harbour. The assistant was in a pretty good position, but I guess with it being so close to the line, the central referee would probably be the best one to see that.
Russell has looked dangerous so far the couple of times as he's been on the ball, but a little bit unfortunate, you'd think, with the fact that his team wasn't awarded a penalty.
Look at how far away from the line the ball is. Oh, that's certainly wrong.
Three-man wall set up by Romario Palmer. Irving is behind this. This can be dangerous. Irving swings it in off the post, and it's cleared out acrobatically by Harbour View. Maybe the keeper had a touch, but it would have been a slight touch. Palmer collects this. It'll be interesting to see that one on the replay. It did come out hard, which is why I thought that it must have hit the woodwork. No way his hand was that strong.
Is he saying he's not doing his weight training, Palmer?
Let's see what happened here.
It's Palmer.
Oh, it's Palmer.
All Palmer.
Oh.
It's a right hand, in fact. In fact, there was no post.
Wow.
Yeah, good save. Dipping at the last moment as well. So, can understand why his hands were in an awkward position, but he still did the job, Palmer.
Yeah, that was a really good save. He was right behind it though. Yeah, a bit of dip as well. But that one from Irving was dangerous. It really was. Here's Dyer. Lewis has some work to do. Has McCleary for company. Still Lewis. Now angling across the staple. Not a lot of players inside the box.
Yeah, a lot of movement as well from Gar Stewart. I think he needs to do better than that. He needs to give those little 5-10 yard diagonal runs.
Long ball or so long throw inside the box.
So that the likes of Crishaday, Daly and Timar Lewis can pick him out. And that's what I think Murray does a much better job of.
Ainsworth all alone, trying to make his way around a couple of the defenders. Oh, that's a good ball inside. Was trying to find Webster, who was lurking at the top of the D. Lewis now. Stewart. Oh, does well. And tried to put it in an area of uncertainty, but a teammate wasn't following up.
That's the kind of movement they need to see more from Stewart.
He will get there, Russell. Anderson running inside. And Webster, did he catch that one? Pretty much. We are at a cricket venue after all. But referee Goldson was quick to blow the whistle.
I'm not so sure the hand was involved there. I thought it was a pretty good take on the chest. Yes, his arms were parallel and out, but
I think Anglin was trying to wake up Staple. Here is Anglin again. And Harding. Anglin. Daly. Driving run. Was he tripped? Gets up quickly. Irving deciding to go long. And Staple was in the way. Here's Rose again. Back to Staple.
Yeah, a bit of rotation, you notice, from Daly and Rose. And I think that's working well. Daly at times getting inverted, getting on the ball and making things happen as well.
Cavalier with the majority of the possession so far at 56%.
This right-hand side, though, of the Harbour View defence just haven't worked themselves out yet. Sleeping a bit, giving away the ball a lot, Staple, and I think that's why Anglin had strong words with him. But Talbot as well, miscontrolling on that occasion. Need to get themselves organised. There's Colorado Murray. Questions as to whether he's fully fit just yet. He's been a big deal for Harbour View. Answered their problems last season in terms of the striking position. Scored in the final as well. And I would like to think that he's really looking for game time.
Murray. Ball played inside. Staple was clipped.
It is a groin injury as well that Murray's recovering from, and never an easy one. It's one that generally needs a lot of rest, and they just don't have that luxury at this time, so no surprise that maybe he constantly re-injures himself. Colorado Murray, that is.
Anglin.
I just don't think that Garth Stewart is a natural in the striking position. I've liked Garth Stewart a lot more in the middle of the park, where he uses his height. He's good on the ball, decent ball handler, but his movement not very orthodox as a forward. Yeah.
Here's Tamar Lewis thinking of a shot. Driving effort, that's wide of the mark. Had a sight there. And drove that one a bit off target.
Always dangerous on the left foot. Coming inside as well, Tamar Lewis, and not far away. Vino Bartlett had that covered though. Always wants to get back onto the left foot, Tamar Lewis.
Clash of heads. Play should be stopped, and it is.
So far we haven't seen that smooth play in the middle from Cavalier. They usually have those close-knit passes in the middle, and then that ball that pulls out wide to free the wide players in space, whether it's Colin Anderson when Dwayne Atkinson was here, that kind of scenario. That's what they thrive on. Webster and Ainsworth will be those two players in that situation with no Atkinson there. But if you notice, because it's very static, or it starts on the wing as well, Harbourview have been able to deal with that a lot easier, and hence Anderson has been easily marked. No balls into the pocket for Anderson to run onto. And Anderson, with his pace, would love to get in those kind of one-on-one situations with, say, even Wellington and Talbot. They're not the slowest either, but that's the kind of scenario you want Anderson to find himself in. Haven't seen a lot of creativity so far. McCleary, Reed in the middle of the park. Not much going on there. Nick O'Shea Murray as well. Not known. Those players not necessarily known at this level for their creative skills. Good ball handlers, yes, but the creativity, not much. Maybe at the high school level, Reed, who probably would even play in a more advanced position, but yeah, still haven't seen it at this level from junior.
Rose. Ainsworth collects. Forward pass to Colin Anderson. Ainsworth with the overlapping run.
Yeah, Ainsworth trying to force the cross, but why not the 1-2 with Colin Anderson? Because after receiving it, Colin Anderson then made a nice run inside of the 18-yard area and would have been free with a shooting opportunity. So again, one of the few times we've seen Anderson get into an isolated position, pulling the centre-backs out, but just not having that same level of chemistry with Ainsworth.
Adrian Reed with the corner kick. There's a lot on it. Leng couldn't do a lot with it. And Timar Lewis trying to get by Giovanni Leng, who recovers well to cover him. Rose. Stewart. And this is Krista J. Daly, the dangerous number 10. On his left, tried to a strike. It's with Garth Stewart. Lays it off, and Rose puts that one over the top. It was a good build-up by the Stars of the East, but the finish needed to have been better.
Yeah, there you see the skills of Stewart. Coming deep now in the midfield, which is where he's comfortable, has the ability to pass, threading a couple passes well. This was a nice one as well, but Rose was always leaning back and so skewed it wide. But yeah, nice build-up, I agree, from a Harbourview perspective. When Daly gets on the ball, things look like they're going to happen for Harbourview. Yeah, I like that move from Stewart, just to check and receive the ball. And as I said, he's a good passer.
Ball played inside, looking for Anderson, who had made that run, but that's some good defending from Ajani Talbot. And Anglin will try to get his team going. Has to be careful, he has lost it. And it's Webster. Knocks it out wide to Anderson. Brain and feet weren't on the same page. It's a composure that's missing so far in this game, you feel?
Well, certainly from Staple. He has just not looked comfortable at all. Very surprising. Usually very good on the ball, Staple. And he does not look settled in the first half an hour of play. Still trying the same things, those long passes. But Harbourview have looked best when the passes have been 10-yard passes, short-handed.
Irving with a long throw. It's put back into touch by Dyer.
And you'd say the steady, relaxed build-up.
Here it comes again, headed away by Staple. Daly, composed on the ball. And they give it up easily And Ainsworth trying to be cheeky. Daly. Anglin. Here's Tamar Lewis. Harding making the run. Trying to find Harding or Stewart. It's the challenge coming in. And 3 players are down. They all get a... Well, with the exception of Stewart, who probably needs some attention. But Harbourview, they keep going. Stewart is back up now. So Harbourview will continue. Rose. Daly.
See the idea. But Staples started to run, then stopped. I think that was annoying from Rose's perspective. This, a nice pass through the middle. Stewart was very late there. Stewart. Harding was hoping that there would have just been a little flick from Stewart, because that shot was always going to be covered by Leng and company. Harbourview certainly look more threatening when they come forward. They're a little bit more organised in their transition play. And with Demar Rose coming into that middle, that creativity himself and Daly make things come alive, and the ability to free the overlapping runs of Harding and Staple. What's surprising for me though, Donald, is with the addition of Gar Stewart of recent weeks into the starting lineup, there's been no change of plan in terms of saying, well, Stewart is taller than most in the Premier League. Why have we not opted then for the dinks? Because there is a quality of pass from the wide areas as well as Daly and Lewis. Why not the dinks for Stewart to run onto and with a powerful header or so on? We just haven't seen that, and that's been a bit surprising for me.
But the players out wide, they are strikers in and of themselves. We're talking about Tamar Lewis, we're talking about Krista J. Daly, who will always target the goal. Whether they are running inwards, you don't see a lot of them going to the byline and sending that cross inside.
I'm not saying they necessarily need to go to the byline, but there must be a change of strategy when you bring in a player that's almost 7 foot. I mean, think of how Manchester City have changed their tactic of play with the likes of Haaland, who is a very tall forward, versus a Sergio Aguero, where you would look to play to feet more. So how have Harbourview, they have morphed their way of thinking, and I would love to see, with Stewart in the lineup, more of that kind of play.
Good defending by Talbot. Really good defending.
Yeah, agreed.
Dyer will have a second opportunity here. Ainsworth gets a corner kick, does he? No, a foul was committed.
Wow. That was a late call for a foul.
It was a late call. Yeah. She had to think about it, obviously. Referee Coulson. Daly. Tamar Lewis lines up an effort, and he curled back towards Vina Bartlett, you know. Thought it was going further to his right, but it swung straight into the hands of the keeper.
Yeah. He was setting up at first to put in a dive, and then he noticed it was dipping at the last moment, so repositioned himself very well. First time he's really been called upon.
Angling over the top, and no issues there for Bartlett. Ainsworth.
Still love the Harbourview construction of their attacks a lot more than Cavalier.
McCleary trying to win that one. Adrian Reed trying to make his way through.
Yeah, no clear
he was
plan
clipped
from Cavalier just yet. No clear plan. But it's obviously Harbourview will use their passes and pull the Cavalier defence out of position.
Here's Anglin trying to play that one through. Oh, what a ball, but he has lost his footing at the most critical time. Tamar Lewis. What a ball that was from Jashawn Anglin. But Lewis couldn't finish. Here's Webster now to Anderson. Anderson on his right, looking for additional space. And Cavalier, they have lost it in the attacking third again. And it'll go the other way. Rose to Stewart. Anglin. Rose to Daly. Rose looking for a run. Inside again to Anglin. Harding comes into the fray. Anglin still there. I think the pass was easier.
Lack of
to
patience
Rose,
from
yeah.
Anglin.
Mhm.
Yeah, poor decision in the end, and Daly is letting him have it. Ludlow Bernard doesn't like it at all. There was no way O'Shane Staple was ever going to get to that, and I just think Anglin was forcing the issue. Daly had the pocket of space, was asking for it. Give him on the edge of the 18. Chances are, if he doesn't turn and get past someone, he's going to be fouled. And then Staple could make the overlapping run, which Daly could play him in. But yeah, Anglin needed a little bit more patience.
Ludlow Bernard had to cool off there.
But you still must appreciate how much better the architecture of the design of their attack is, Harbourview.
Yeah, we see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Lewis was appealing for a handled ball there. Didn't go in his favour. Daly picks it up. Daly almost lucky there. Anglin with the effort. Wide of the mark.
Yeah, doesn't score often at all. Hasn't scored this season. Only had one goal all of last season. Joshua Anglin.
And that was actually a pretty good goal.
Yeah, but far and few between. Just won in over 40 matches.
Dyer brings it under control, then he lost it. Ronaldo Webster has 2 to aim for, headed away. Ainsworth trying to get by Rose. They gave him the space to make the cross, you know.
Probably because it was on his weaker side.
Maybe.
I'm also amazed at how many of those headers Stewart doesn't win.
Rose, Daly with some space to work with. Tried to go himself, but he does pick up a free kick. Krista J. Daly.
Very lucky. Very lucky. I thought he was trying the impossible there. Very tight space. Oh wow, that's very unlucky from a Cavalier perspective. I actually thought Webster initially nicked it away in a clean manner without any touch on Daly.
Well, the wall is being constructed by Vina Bartlett.
Some way out. I think this would be maybe a ball to the back post for Gar Stewart to run on to look at where he's positioned.
Yeah.
Wide. With his aerial ability, yeah, good target.
Well, Anglin is there. Daly though with the dink inside the area. Oh, what a ball that is! And Demar Rose's effort was charged down. He still has possession though. Now Lewis. Cavalier doing enough throw in.
Just wondering if when Daly dinked it over, if Lewis shouldn't have taken the shot right away, even though it was on his right foot, because he got a nice bounce, took a touch, and then he was obviously closed down by the defense line of Cavalier.
It's going to be a long throw by O'Shane Staple. And Webster with the clearance. Good leap that was by Russell. And Webster switching the play. McCleary will get there.
This is a danger for Harbourview.
It is. McCleary looking for options though. Sends this one inside the area, and the option handled so far by Harbour View.
What about that touch?
Yeah. Good work by Stewart so far.
What is he waiting on though?
Probably the referee's whistle. Probably a little bit fortunate on that occasion as well. Rose. Daly. Ball played out wide to Anglin. Anglin with the ball in the area, straight to Vina Bartlett. Harding. Dyer. Oh, that's a lovely first touch. Try to slip in Lewis as well. Harding's effort is straight to Bartlett. They are trying. He's not comfortable with the fact that Cavalier hasn't seen a lot of the ball in recent times.
You get the impression from Rudolph Speed's perspective that the first leg is all about management. Not sure if the team mentally is back to where he wants it. Is the feeling he gave in his interview. And so I think you'd probably walk away with a draw here and say, okay, I'll take that. And look forward to the second leg in terms of getting everybody back up and running mentally.
I usually find him being honest in his interviews, to be fair. But I get the impression that he's kind of playing possum, because they are, or most times they are a dangerous side, even when they have been adversely affected by a number of your star players missing.
No, I'm not talking about the players missing. I'm just talking about the incidents here at Sabina Park 3 days ago and how they were affected.
But I'm talking about him just playing possum on a whole.
Oh, okay.
We've seen it before where they have faced adversity and he underplays the type of performance he expects with youngsters or fringe players, and they come out and blow teams away.
Well, not quite blowing anybody away today, but yeah.
Ainsworth to Anderson again. The old-time Calabar connection. Ainsworth's ball inside the area. Headed out. Ainsworth again.
He's seen a lot of the ball, Ainsworth.
Yeah, he is. He has.
The best, though. Been some of the quite a bit of rotation as well. Webster's now come into more of a central position, and Russell has pushed out wide. They've used a lot more of the left side though with Ainsworth. Not much going on the right hand side of things, and I think they have realized that O'Shane Staple has not been as focused or composed as you're used to seeing. So maybe they've said, well, let's drill him a bit more. He looks like he has a mistake in him. Good observation, you'd have to say, from the Cavalier management team and players.
Ling. No, poor ball. And now it goes the other way. Dyer telling Daly to go up. Daly gets the ball now. And couldn't get by Irving. If he had got by Irving, Cavalier would have been in some trouble there.
Good defending.
Lewis. Dyer. Wellington. Wellington blasts that into high heavens.
Never going to happen. 3 goals on the season, Ryan Wellington, but all have been in and around the 6-yard area.
And with the head.
Yeah. Not from 40 yards out.
Who will strike before the halftime interval? Russell. Lovely ball to Cavlier. Sends it across to Ainsworth.
No.
Ainsworth. Ooh. The ball did cross the line.
Oh yeah. Quite ambitious from Ainsworth. That was always going to go behind before coming back into play, but Cavlier just rushing his pass. Not a lot of thought going into the Cavalier attack, and that's been their problem so far.
Dyer again trying to go long to Daly. Anglin keeps it. Staple.
Strong words between Anglin and Staple again. I don't know, Shane Staple has just been one of those afternoons. He's totally off key.
He's acting like a pedestrian.
Yeah, when the ball is played to him, he can't even catch it. There's obviously a lot on his mind. Even for the throw, they threw it to him. He didn't even realize the ball was on his way. He's just out of sorts today. Guess we're all allowed to have those kind of days.
Staple with a long ball inside the area. Lewis! Well, we would normally say any touch would do. He did get the touch, but it was wide of the mark.
Good throw again from Staple. Stewart unable to get onto it, and I'm not sure he knew where he was. Timor Lewis just tried his best and it wasn't far away.
Just a couple of minutes of stoppages. Apparently the ball didn't cross the line, so they'll continue playing. Webster.
Ainsworth thought it was out of play. Interesting. Rudolph Speed asked him what is he doing.
Here's Webster. Webster inside Anderson. Oh! He was a little bit off balance, I think. And was stretching for it in the end. Didn't make much contact.
Not much happening for him, Colin Anderson. He's had to feed off of scraps. This one coming in, looking to open up his foot to get it on target. Not sure he'd have had enough power from that kind of range to beat Palmer, though. Russell unable to get on the end of it as well. Again, not very organised in terms of the attack.
Corner kick coming in. Leng couldn't quite put power behind it. And that should be that for the first half. Yep. It's been pedestrian. And we reckon that would have been the case. Both these teams would have played on Friday in the Link Cup. Harbour View in the third place playoff, which they lost. Cavalier in the final, which they lost. And there have been quite a few opportunities so far in this game. And both teams just a little bit lackadaisical. Let's see what happens in the second half. But after 45 minutes, we're yet to see a goal in this one. 0-0.
It's semi-final first leg action in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. After 45 minutes, the defending champions Harbour 0, 2021 champions Cavalier 0. Let's have a look at the first half highlights. Nerissa Golson in charge of this one. Harbour in their regular blue and yellow, doing some defending early. Colin Anderson, the Leeds leading goal scorer, getting into the 6-yard area, but couldn't place it on target. Bravery from their blonde-haired striker. Then this effort from the wide area, and Palmer did excellently from Gadale Irvin's strike. Then Harbour coming into their Timar Lewis from range, 6 goals already this season. They're number 11, but couldn't find a target on that occasion. Gar Stewart asked to play the centre forward role, dropping deep, providing this for Krista J. Daly's shot block. Then Stewart playing provider again, and Demar Rose playing in the middle of the park. 2 goals this season, but he couldn't hit the target. Harbour the structure of their attacks much better in the first 45 minutes. Daly to Lewis, Lewis with a strike, and pretty easy in the end for St. Lucian, Vino Barclay. Then switching sides, Harding on the left, inside to Anglin, and yeah, well, not sure how much of a highlight that was from Joshua and Anglin, and frustration for Ludlow Bernard. This the closest they came. Timar Lewis inside the 6-yard with a back heel, didn't know much about it, and just past the upright. Then just before the break, Cavalier into the air. Colin Anderson always leaning back. 17 goals this season, but hasn't had much in the first 45 minutes. And that was it. Not much goalmouth action. The statistics look like this. Just 1 shot on target from Cavalier's 8 attempts. Harbour they have been a bit better. 3 on target from 11 attempts. There have been 12 fouls and just 1 yellow card shown by Nerissa Golson. 3 saves as well by Vino Barclay between the sticks. Cavalier have majority of the possession, but no goals after 45 minutes in this first leg of semi-final 1.
JPL semi-final first leg on Sportsmax 2 tonight. Mount Pleasant against Arnett Garden, 7:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean time. You don't want to miss that one. And of course, the Europa League final is on Sportsmax 2, Wednesday afternoon, 2 o'clock, 3 ECT Sevilla against Roma. You can catch us for the pre-game show at approximately 1:15 Jamaica time, 2:15 in the Eastern Caribbean time. You don't want to miss that one. And the UEFA Champions League final is on Sportsmax 2, Saturday, June 10 at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean time. And it's Man City, of course, against Inter Milan. And we'll be there for the pre-game show 1 hour before kickoff. 0-0 here between Harbour and Cavalier. It hasn't been a match that has had a lot of goal-mouth activity, and the quality has been lacking in the attacking third by both teams, which is the reason why we haven't seen goals here. But Harbour, they have been limited at times to taking a lot of shots from outside the box.
Yeah, I think there's been a combination of play. Actually, they have strung some nice passes in and around the 18-yard area. But yeah, some loose balls outside the area which they have decided to strike. Sometimes a lack of patience from the stars from the east. But other times, a couple of strikes which were on target but not asking a lot of Vino Bartlett, or maybe not enough. Here's another effort. This was from Timar Lewis early out, just wide of the bar. But yeah, Harbour View, a few strikes outside, but as I said, some play inside the area as well. This just in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. Cavalier, on the other hand, lots of crosses into the box. And I do think on occasions they probably could have played shorter passes to get better shooting opportunities in and around the 18-yard. These were the balls inside, most coming from the wing of Christopher Ainsworth, their number 11. But most, they haven't pressured the Harbour View defence line enough in the first 45 minutes.
Well, the second half is now underway here at Sabina Park, and Harbour View will be kicking towards the new Kingston area, while Cavalier in white will be going towards the Caribbean Sea and downtown Kingston. Anglin on it. He's seen a lot of the ball so far in this game. Jashawn Anglin, Harbour View's number 7. Across to Demar Rose. Rose plays it inside. Lewis couldn't quite capture it. It was a bit away from him though. Cavalier doing enough to clear. Kept in play by Harding. Through to Daly. Lewis with the run, trying to get the ball inside the area, and Cavalier will watch that go out into touch. Webster giving chase. Couldn't keep that one in play. McCleary won it illegally. Daly. Irving. Ainsworth. Ainsworth looking for Anderson. Webster couldn't gather. Anglin has done some good work so far. Lewis. Anglin. Dyer across to Staple. Staple's ball looking for Stewart, too much on it. Stewart slipped there, I think. Yeah. He's good now. Irving. Oh, he does well until he didn't. Anglin. has been playing with real purpose so far in this game. Rose tucks it inside to Krista J. Daly. Harding now. Odell and Harding. Back to Daly. Forced to go back, Harbourview. Wellington. Now Anglin. Demar Rose. No issues there for Bartlett. And Webster collecting. And McCleary looking for options. Webster again. Ainsworth. Ball almost played through. Murray. Irving's dink forward. Here's the ball inside. It's a good one, just evading Webster. McCleary gathers. Still has it. Wasn't the best ball inside the area, but Cavalier, they have it again. Ball over the top. McCleary nods at the back post. Oh, what a goal that is! Beautiful build up. And doesn't he love scoring against Harbourview? Orlando Russell. That's his third this season. And the back line of the Stars of the East was absent as Cavalier tore them apart. And they get the lead early in the second half, 1-0.
Patient build up, nice ball over the top from Nick O'Shea Murray. You have to wonder how Jerome McCleary had so much space in the 18-yard area. Almost in the 6-yard area. And it was an intelligent pass to the back foot, and Orlando Russell scored against Harbourview in the regular season, finds another one in the playoffs. Problems for Ludlow Bernard, and you'd have to see against the run of play as well. With Harbourview having majority of the possession, looking more threatening. But the 2021 champions draw first blood.
Well, McCleary did well and showed the composure which was necessary to lay it in the path of McCleary, or in the path of Russell, who made no mistake from there. Well, how will Harbourview respond? Stewart sends it long, looking for Lewis. Throw into Harbourview. They're trying to move quickly now. Rose. Jashawn Anglin thinking of a shot, and he probably should have remained, I thought. Well over the top.
Still looking for that glory goal yet again, Jashawn Anglin. As we said, just one goal in 2 seasons. Not the best decision. As we said, Harbourview taking a lot of shots from 25 yards out. And yeah, maybe a little bit more ingenuity. There's a man who is good in the 18-yard area, Colorado Murray. Been out with a groin injury. I think Harbourview will be much better with him on the park, though.
Well, here's Stewart.
Big occasion player.
To Daly. Daly tried to maneuver his way further inside the area. Taken out. Anderson will do well not to foul. Clearance made by Talbot. Anglin. Harding. Rose. Through the middle. Daly. Lovely ball. Almost worked. Lewis can't get there. McCleary with the clearance. And Webster has some space to work with. Looking for Russell. It's with Anderson. Talbot getting a vital touch inside the area.
And we spoke about the danger, especially with Harbourview committing their wing backs forward. That quick transition play from Cavalier, there you saw it, and they were certainly exposed, Harbourview. As I said, good work by Talbot denying them, but that will be a worry for Ludlow Bernard and company. It is their weakness as well as their strength, Harbourview.
Good header away by Len, as there was a searching ball from Anglin. Yep, Talbot getting a touch there away from Anderson. Bartlett is down there again. All part of the game management.
Yep, Peter Gould, Paul Christie. Paul Christie there with hand on chin, director of sporting director at Mount Pleasant, and Peter Gould on the right with the fancy iridescent shirt, the owner.
And that's the head coach of Mount Pleasant, Theodore Whitmore. His team comes up next, and that's expected to be a pretty decent encounter with Arnett Gardens. Rose.
Arnett Gardens did outplay them at home in the first meeting they had this season. Ended up 3-2. The scoreline was close, but Arnett Gardens certainly dominated that game.
Anglin striding forward, trying to make his way through, unsuccessful. And Stewart tried to get the ball and couldn't get it away. Anderson gets it, the flag stays down. And last touch off Ainsworth. Colorado Murray will make an entrance, so too J. Smith. As Harbourview, they'll try something different.
Hasn't had the worst game, Demar Rose. He's a player we sacrificed. Roger Smith. They're hoping for a similar kind of play, creative play in the middle of the park. Does probably play a little bit quicker than Rose as well. Harbourview guilty on occasion of being a bit too slow, and this is the expected change. Gar Stewart off. It just hasn't worked again for Harbourview. Stewart playing as a point man up front. Hasn't been able to use his aerial advantage, and this man, a skilled man in the 18-yard area. 6 goals for him so far this season, but 46 in his Premier League career.
One of those goals against Cavalier, and I think that was in the 2016-2017 season, or maybe it was 17-18. He was playing for Tivoli Gardens back then.
17-18, the year when he won the Golden Boot with 13 goals. Then followed it up the following season at Waterhouse with 12. Colorado Murray hasn't really hit those heights since, but yeah, he's been a good addition to this Harbourview team since last season.
Yeah, it was in the 17-18 season, as this one is sent inside the area. Talbot is there, couldn't win it from Anderson. Ming. Flag went up for offside. Dwayne Allen is making his way onto the field of play for Nicashay Murray.
Like for like?
Pretty much.
Maybe Dwayne Allen a little bit more creative, a little more forward-minded. Two former Wolmerians though.
McCleary lost it to Lewis. Was there a handle ball there? Referee says play on, and they do. Webster on the charge. Cavalier dominating possession, and Webster couldn't get by the Harbourview captain. And there was a push in the back was there from Anglin. Referee think that was just a coming together. And here's Harding. Left it for Anglin. It's now with Smith. Dyer, Staple, Daly on his left. Daly! Fantastic save from Vina Bartlett. It was a powerful hit from Harbourview's number 10, and Bartlett had to move smartly to his right to dig that one out.
Always dangerous in and around the 18-yard area, Christopher J. Daly, especially on his left foot. And that shot was pretty accurate as well. Vina Bartlett would have had many bodies in front of him, but did the business to keep Harbourview out, at least for now.
Corner kick by Anglin, and not cleared properly. And finally put into touch. Harbourview looking a little bit more sprightly in the aftermath of conceding. Hopeful ball to the edge of the box, easily handled by Cavalier, and Allen goes over the top. Anderson, this is where he wants to be. Colin Anderson, can he score? He hits it straight to Palmer.
That's the ball over the top we've been waiting to see for Cavalier. Transition play, counter-attacking football. Wing-backs out of position. Colin Anderson with space. The pass from Dwayne Allen was a beauty. But yeah, Anderson, no precision.
Here is Smith driving into the attacking third, was challenged by Allen. Free kick to Harbourview.
Lucky not to get a yellow card. That was a promising attack. Nice run from Roger Smith, skillful player. Another Wolmerian. But this is a chance for Anderson. The first touch wasn't bad. Got to find the far corner from there though. Created the angle for himself, nothing wrong with that. But that finish was way too central from the league's top goal scorer. His confidence, he's got to be picking out the far triangle there. And really, he didn't ask any question at all of Palmer.
And now Harbourview will be seeking to ask the questions of Bartlett once more. Anglin behind this. So to Christopher J. Daly. It has to be Daly's, right? With his left foot. Anglin though may be favoured.
Not the best angle for Daly. But skillful left foot.
Indeed.
It would suit more the right footer, but with Daly's ability, let's see.
Four-man wall set up for Anglin.
Yeah. Anglin is not a player with a lot of finesse. Lots of power behind it, but no real dip to it. And always going over. Pretty teasing crowd for the JPL semi-finals. It must be said, the North Stand heavily populated, even the Party Stand or the Campari Stand getting busy.
Yeah, and I can tell that most of the supporters from Arnett Gardens.
For the Campari, well, it's their colours.
In the North Stand as well. Here is Ainsworth, does well, puts a ball in, and Anderson slipped at the wrong time for Cavalier. Here's McCleary. Reed making that run, doesn't get it from McCleary, who hastily puts it just outside the area, and Ainsworth will have it. Ainsworth manufacturing across at the back post, safety first. Timar Lewis back there, nodding it behind, corner kick to Cavalier. And there they are in the Campari Party Stand. Just $500 Jamaican dollars entry. And the North Stand, spectators coming in all the time. And I suppose when the second leg is played on a Sunday, even more people will come a little bit earlier. No work for them. Here's the corner kick at the near post.
Work for you, though.
Well, here, and I suppose that's the point.
Needs a better delivery, Ainsworth. Got to get it past that first defender.
Still can't. I'm wondering if fatigue is setting in for Ainsworth. He played a lot of matches for Cavalier, the youngster. Still very much an amateur player. 17 years old. But he has been instrumental so far this season for Cavalier, but in the last few weeks hasn't been his sharpest. Just wondering if it's just a bit of fatigue, which is difficult to come. We're not talking tiredness, we're talking fatigue. Leng with the throw. Headed away. Well, that wasn't a clearance that Anglo would want to remember. Leng lofts it. Anderson, Webster. Anglin touches it out wide. Dyer. Daly. Referee says play on, and they do. Couldn't quite thread the needle there, Colorado Murray. Smith. Roger Smith. Murray. Lewis, Smith, over the top.
Not a bad build-up either. Colorado Murray and Roger Smith, the two substitutes, getting involved. Like Smith's energy since coming on, but that shot wasn't good enough. Would have good memories here, Roger Smith. Wolmer's did win the Champions Cup some years ago, the only time they won that schoolboy title. Smith was a part of it.
The other sub who came on, let's take a look at McCleary, landing hard there.
A double blow to the face of Timar Lewis.
And the other sub who came on for Cavalier also will be Dwayne Allen.
Yes. A bit younger though.
A bit. Here he's trying to, well over his head. Anglin.
This will be the first time this season that Cavalier have gotten the better of Harbourview. A 2-1 loss and a 1-1 draw.
If the scoreline remains the same.
Yeah. Cavalier in 2022 did do the double though over the Stars from the East. Just haven't found back that form this season against them.
Lewis. Smith. Harding. Anderson fouled by Dyer. 2 more changes to be made by Harbourview. Breckenridge is coming on, so too Phil and Lawrence.
Well, the Breckenridge change is pretty interesting. It looks as O'Shane Stapley is a player who's going to come off. Well, he certainly hasn't had the best game by any means. In fact, it's been a miserable day for the usual right back, usually quite outstanding, but he's been a bit out of sorts today. Will there be a change in formation here? Will they go 3-4-3, Donald? Phil and Lawrence for Timar Lewis, like for like.
Yeah.
Wingers, outstanding schoolboy goal scorer Phil and Lawrence, in time at Holy Trinity and then Jamaica College.
Paul Tiger Davis, head coach of Arnie Gardens, former national striker, looks focused already ahead of their semi-final encounter, Arnie Gardens against Mount Pleasant, right out of this game.
Does know a thing or two about goal scoring.
Yeah, was the leading scorer for Jamaica at one stage.
There's Nicky Daly, another player who knows quite a bit about goal scoring, a much younger version to Paul Tiga Davis.
Yeah.
Was aligned with Mount Pleasant for some time.
Yeah, then they parted ways mutually. Maybe he will be staying in the Jamaica Premier League for next season.
Spent some time overseas as well, Nicky Daly. Really outstanding player at the schoolboy level with Clarendon College, and played for the Jamaica under-20 team as well, the Reggae Boys under-20. Was really a handful for the region.
Well, here's an opportunity for Cavalier. Couldn't quite capture that one, Russell. Now here's Lawrence. Then Smith. And Dyer. Across to Harding. Daly trying to utilize his skill there. And last touch coming off Reed. Anglin. Now Harding swinging that one inside, and Murray just a little bit too high for him on that occasion. Well, Here is Harding again. Making a run inside, Harding, but then he lost possession. Dyer mopping up. Breckenridge. Smith.
Still think it's just too
Anglin.
slow from Harbour View.
And it's Cavalier trying to do some defending. Smith lost it in a promising area. Irving has it for Cavalier, and he had one thing on his mind. Lawrence. Anglin to Daly. Daly has lost it. And Russell finds Allen. And now Ainsworth. About 15 minutes to go in this one. Cavalier, they look as if they're pretty comfortable at the moment. First of two legs in this semi-final of the Jamaica Premier League, and Ainsworth trying to get one inside the box. It's another corner kick to Cavalier. Cavalier, they'd love a second goal here. Just to be in a position of comfort. Dwayne Allen to send this one inside. The corner kicks have been disappointing so far in this game, but Jay Smith does well. He's a force driving forward, gets a knock to his face. Referee says play on. That was Lawrence rather, not Smith. This is Murray collecting that one deep. Anglin pulls it back at the near post. Was Smith, and didn't get a proper connection on it.
Yeah, Cavalier have done pretty well defensively, which is what has forced Harbour View at times to kick from outside. I think Harbour View also building up a little bit too slow, but give Cavalier credit. There were concerns over that third centre-back to join Ling and Ming. It's been Gadale Irvin, and he's been solid.
Adrian Reed before him was also
in the link-up.
A pretty safe choice in the link-up.
Yeah, but I thought strength-wise, in terms of body, he struggled against Portmore.
Here he is, Reed.
He's been asked to play more of a midfield role today, and I think that suits him a bit better.
Ainsworth tried to get the cross inside the area. Smith. Daly had no idea that the ball was coming towards him.
Yeah, and look how deep Colorado Murray has had to come, and he's hampered as well. He's not moving very well, Colorado Murray. There he's telling the rest of his teammates to go. He's struggling, Murray.
Oh dear.
Spoke about that groin injury, and now we're seeing why he wasn't able to start. Doesn't look good. Maybe Ludlow Bernard will be saying, look, don't do too much work, just stay in that 18-yard area and try and find one for us. Can't change direction quickly, Murray.
Yeah, obviously not close to 100%. Not remotely close. McCleary. Talbot does enough. Strong challenge coming in. There's Harold Thomas, one of the coaches, technical director of Dunby Holding.
Came third in the Link Cup, the All-Ireland knockout. Defeated Harbour View by a goal to nil.
Daly now, and the intention was good.
Yeah, Harding applauds the pass. He was caught on his heels, Odalyn Harding.
Yeah. Cavalier to make a couple changes too. Shaniel Thomas replaces Orlando Russell, the goal scorer, the difference maker, Orlando Russell. It was an easy goal with some good work from McCleary to set him up. And Shaniel Thomas, who's in some good goal scoring form from the knockout competition, is in the lineup now.
Omaria Henry, the other substitute gone on, this teenager, number 14.
Yeah, Colin Anderson is off.
No surprise.
Daly goes goalwards and no issues there for Bartlett.
I think he was looking for a pass to the back post, hoping that Phil and Lawrence would have been running in, but a little bit too close for him. Yeah, Colin Anderson, disappointing afternoon, did have one really good chance that he should have converted, hit it straight down the throat of Palmer. But apart from that, not much to say for the number 9. And understandably given a rest, especially with a 1-0 advantage. 17 goals in his Premier League season. He is the league's leading goal scorer. But I can tell you, there are a couple of players coming up next which are on his heels.
Indeed. And here's a snapshot that's over the top. And it was Reed with the effort. Probably got a knock to his mouth there as he went through. As they got the Sportsman's at moment of the game, and it was a lovely dink inside the box of McCleary, just helped on for Russell. Yep, pretty good goal that was. Murray was the one with the dink there, and then McCleary across to Russell, and Cavalier with the advantage, and that's the Sportsman's app moment of the game, courtesy of the Sportsman's app. Lawrence. Ball played through to Daly. Daly trying to get by Leng. Leng does well to cover him. Well, the yellow card is showed to Krista J. Daly. for that lash out there in the end. Frustration.
Yeah. There's a bit of an arm from Ling, which he didn't appreciate really, but I don't think Ling threw the elbow by any means, but flash a bit of a hand which made contact to his forehead.
Reed, Ainsworth, Shaniel Thomas. Here's Phil and Lawrence now for Harbour View as they try to get back level in this one. Lawrence can't get by Irving. Long throw. There's an appeal for a handled ball. Referee remain unmoved. Angling. Dyer's ball inside the area, handled well by the Cavalier back line. Angling again. Harding trying to take on a couple of players there from Cavalier, unsuccessful. Last touch off McCleary. Yep, throw into Harbour View. They're moving quickly. Lawrence trying to control.
Just too slow from Harbour View though.
Brackenridge again headed away easily. And
you can see there, that's easy for Cavalier, and now they can go on the counter.
Well, here they are moving on the counter with Henry getting by one challenge. Needs some support though. Thomas is up there. He goes for goal himself. Probably a little bit selfish, if not ambitious.
It was only Thomas making his way into the area and he was late. But these are the kind of moments that generally Cavalier thrive on. Teenager not quite getting it right. Yeah, well over the top in the end. But Harbour View, when they're attacking, they just need to increase the intensity, the pace of their attack. They're allowing the Cavalier defenders to regroup well, get into perfect positions, instead of using that added pace in the flank areas. Phil and Lawrence just coming on, slowing up the play way too much.
Lawrence on it. Not sure what the intention was there. Well, they brought the energy to Sabina Park, along with the noise, of course.
Yeah, the band has certainly picked up. Took a while for them to get all energized. I'm sure they're helping the spectators to feel it more.
Well, we are hearing it, they're not feeling it. Webster's ball inside. That's going to be a throw in.
More changes for either team. Keani Jackson, another teenager.
It is Keani Jackson.
For Cavalier. And Shepherd getting ready for Harbour View.
Yeah, Jamon Shepherd, the number 27. Who's your man of the match? Is it the goal scorer? Is it that easy?
I don't think it's that easy, but yeah, he is the difference maker. quite frankly, he might have had to leave the club had he missed from there. But I think some appreciation must also go to the back line of Cavalier and how they've defended. They've forced Harbour to take a lot of shots from outside the area, as we saw after the half-time interval. And I think especially with a change back line, Gadale Irving coming into that line, but Ming, how he's marshaled his troops there has been excellent as well, to lead from the back line and deny Harbourview 18-yard opportunities.
Thomas, well, he did find Henry with a plum, didn't he? Henry did well to gather that one. Couldn't get by the Harbourview captain though, and the former captain picks it up. We're expecting 4 minutes of stoppages. Here's Shepherd. Lawrence giving chase. Can he get there? No. Ainsworth covers it.
He's put in a good shift as well, Ainsworth, but so start at times his passing needed to be a little bit better.
Now Keanu Jackson is getting ready to come on for Cavalier. No, not quite. Now the change will happen. Oh, Webster is the one who's coming off. So Cavalier trying to see this one through, managing the time as well, obviously, with the subs. Well, he caught it before the whistle went. He was anticipating a call, Dyer, and then just wastes it. For what's open to the public tonight, this is a massive crowd at Sabina Park. Henry tried to get Chanel Thomas involved. Thomas. Ball played along that left-hand side. Ainsworth with space. Two in the area. And disappointing for Cavalier that he couldn't keep it in play. Harding looking for options. Lawrence was over his head.
Was the assistant referee one of them? Well,
they need to come better in the second leg for sure. Both teams would have a view, especially with the fact that they are behind.
10 clean sheets in 26 games coming into this for Cavalier, and this is looking like they are going to capture their 11th. Not the most entertaining match, not the most convincing victory if they execute it, but as you said, based on how Rudolph Speed would have sounded in the interview coming in, the unsurety of where his players' minds were at, considering they are lost in more ways than one on Monday, it's been a solid performance. And yes, we say Orlando Russell did get that goal, but for the captain Kyle Ming to lead them in this fashion, especially defensively, keep a clean sheet possibly, I think that's a really good performance from their back line. They have forced Harbourview to take shots from far out. They have slowed their attacks.
Here is Lawrence to the byline, sends it across. There's nobody there at the back post, but they'll still collect through Harding. Can he deliver? He does inside the area. It just came off Smith. Had no idea where he was.
Yeah, Leng missed the header, and I think that's what Ming is saying to him. How could you miss that? Ming was there to throw off Smith, but hence the ball just hit Smith. Luckily it didn't stop dead, or Smith would have had a shot. Look at it here. doesn't time the header well, and then it throws off Ming.
It threw off Ming, and it threw off Smith as well. Not a lot of time remaining. Maybe a little less than a minute. Leng. Well, goes out for a throw in. Maybe the final chance for Harbour View. Yeah, Ming has also had a really good game at the back for Cavalier as we continue discussion for player of the game. Harding with a long throw, kept alive.
There's Ming again.
Yep, that is it. That's the end of the game. And Cavalier, they have the advantage. And Russell, the scorer in this one, the difference maker in this one. His second goal against Harbour View this season, his third overall for Cavalier in the season. And Cavalier, they have the advantage heading into the second leg semi-final come Sunday right here at Sabina Park. After all they've been through, Cavalier, they have done well to come out on top in this first leg. Harbour View will have to regroup, and both teams will have time to recover, and maybe we'll see them put on a better show for the second leg. At full time, Harbour View 0, Cavalier 1. As we take a look at the highlights in this one, Ainsworth trying to win that header, and did. Anderson came through, got a foot on it, was wide of the mark. This one swung in and saved by Palmer. Irving with the free kick, and Palmer had to move smartly to punch that one away. And then Timar Lewis trying his effort. The shot from distance, wide of the mark. And here is Daly now. Dangerous in these positions, but it's come across to Stewart, who lays it off for Demar Rose. Rose should have found the target. Went over the top. Krista J. Daly. Things happen when he's on the ball. Lewis again trying to curl that one, but curled a little bit too much. Right into the arms of Bartlett. And then Harding, finding Anglin. And a desperate looking London Bernard there, and then this one is flicked across the face of goal by Lewis. And then an opportunity there for Colin Anderson, leaning back, couldn't get the power behind it, and then the goal. Nodded across by McCleary, and Russell with the finish. Lovely stuff by Cavalier, and the Harbour View back line torn on that occasion. Good assist from McCleary, and Russell with the good finish, the difference maker. And then this effort from Krista J. Daly, and it was an outstanding stop from Vina Bartlett, moving smartly to his right, digging that one out. Dwayne Allen came on as a sub, lobbed it to Colin Anderson, and you'd have bet your house on Anderson scoring that one. You'd have lost the house. Anderson looking for his 18th goal this season, couldn't convert. And that was all she wrote for this first leg semi-final, with Cavalier coming out on top. Harbour View with 18 shots, 6 on target. Cavalier just 3 shots on target from their 14 attempts. They committed 12 fouls, one more than Harbour View. And you see that Cavalier had the majority of the corner kicks, the majority of the saves, but Harbour View edging possession at 51%.
Here we see Kyle Ming here, our player of the match, receiving his man of the match award from KD Webley, junior brand manager at Digicel. And he has a goodie bag to go with it as well there, Kyle. Phone and other things in there, other goodies as well. Kyle, how big a performance is this today for Cavalier?
Well, it was a really important win for us. The guys came out and played well, so we get the win. So at the end of the day, we have to thank God.
Lots of adversity on Monday, lots of things happening in the dressing room. You've also not had your usual centre-back partner in Richard King. So how important was it, how difficult was it for you to lead this back line with Gadale Irving coming into that centre-back role?
Well, we have some really talented players, so it don't matter who play, anybody come out there on the day, they will perform.
All right, Kyle, excellent performance today. Enjoy your win and all the best in the second leg.
Okay, thank you.
Kyle Ming, player of the match, the Cavalier captain. Ludlow, I would say you had the better of the first half for sure. That goal maybe coming against the run of play, you would say.
Yeah, indeed. I think we were very, very careless on that one. You know, a very, what you would call a soft goal, but then again, we weren't in full concentration at the time, you know, and we slacked up. It's a similar thing happening up front, us not really applying ourselves and running out of ideas up top, you know, so we paid the price for it and we didn't capitalize on what I consider was probably a tired Cavalier team.
The combination of Daly and Rose, I thought, especially in the first half, was good.
Yeah.
But then the experiment with Gar Stewart hasn't quite worked in that forward position.
Yeah, that is something that we clearly would have to re-examine and stuff, because we are now under 1-0 and we probably need to do something. Colorado, as you can observe, is not 100% just yet, but I think I have something up my sleeve for that one.
That's underestimating, actually. We saw when Colorado came on.
Yes.
It certainly looked like he couldn't change direction easily at all.
Really,
it was a struggle.
Really the impact wasn't there, and you really need a little physicality, a little running, and just a little bit more effort up there. But as I said before, I think I may have the answer for that. As I know there's somebody in the team who have figure can really give me that answer.
The second leg to come, all the best. Rest up and come again.
Thank you very much.
Ludlow Bernard there, head coach at Harbour. A tough afternoon for them. Rudolph Speed here, technical director at Cavalier. Rudolph, not the most fluent performance from Cavalier, but at the end, 3 points nevertheless on your first victory against Harbour this season.
Oh, definitely, and we knew it was going to be hard. So basically, what we tried to do was not to concede any goals and take what we got, and that's what happened.
Forced a lot of changes. I asked Kyle about the fact that Gadale Irving was brought into the centre-back role. You must have been pleased to keep a clean sheet with a changed back line and to keep out the striking pair, well, Gar Stewart and company and the likes of Daly and Lewis and so on.
Yeah, but that wasn't really my problem, you know. My problem was really my central midfielder. So I needed somebody who had a little more steel. So adding young AJ to that role was really what I wanted.
Now you have the 1-0 advantage going into the second leg. What would be the mindset going into that? Get more goals or keep what you have?
No. I think I need one or two more.
All right, excellent performance for them. Congrats on the victory. Rest up and we'll see you next week in the second leg.
So Cavalier, they have the advantage over Harbourview heading into the second leg come Sunday right here at Sabina Park. And let's see how that one will turn out. But Harbourview, they have a lot of work to do in order to get back into this one. The champions of 2 seasons ago, they are in front.
Oh!